Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is another thrift with me. So we are back at Value Village. It actually hasn't been that long since I've been here previously, but the first thing I noticed when I walked in was how expanded the Halloween section was compared to when we were here last, which was probably only about 2 weeks difference. So we just made a quick trip here because we got we're part of, like, I don't even know what it's called, Savers Club, maybe something like that. So we get coupons emailed to us. So we had got one, I think it was spend $40 and save 15, which is a pretty good deal. And Value Village just tends to be on the higher side of pricing, and we're resellers, so we figured we would make a quick trip in. So anyway, this, I've mentioned it in my last video, but this Halloween section in Value Village gives me so much nostalgia for the 90s, because when I was growing up, we would go here all the time, especially at Halloween. It just brings back all the feels. I was actually thinking maybe I should get a costume and dress up this year, but I decided not to. But I really liked that kind of like hippie choker. But John always dresses up and passes out the candy. So I was also looking to see if there's any, like, he dresses up like a vampire every year. So I was looking to see if there was anything there, but I think he's good with his costume. So I do always like to take a look through the like furniture area. Just, you never know when you're gonna find some amazing piece like I did last time I was here, but there wasn't really a whole lot going on. A lot of it was either the same or just not all that interesting. I think that was a corner desk, but it was upside down. And then I always like to take a look at the lighting section. You never know when you're gonna find some amazing lamp or some lamp shades that are great. I did end up spotting a lamp shade that I'm not sure 100% if it's vintage or not, but this is very much the, like, kind of my aesthetic style. It looks vintage to me, but it might not be. But it is one that just clamps over the light bulb, which we have some lamps in our basement that are vintage, and one of them you need a clamp-on lamp shade, because there's no, it's just the bulb part. So I thought this one looked pretty similar to the other two lamps we have down there. I did a tour of my basement, I think last year, whatever, if you want to see what I'm talking about, but I did end up using it down there. It looks really good. So then I spotted this little pineapple set, which I think is adorable. I don't think it's vintage, but I thought it was so cute. So it was $20 for all of it, and you got cream and sugar. There was a salt and pepper shaker set that matched the teapot, and then of course the mugs. I just thought it was so cute. I think it would be really cute for like outdoor entertaining in the summer or something, but I don't need it, even though it was really cute. I always like to look at the mugs as well, because you never know. I don't know if it was the last time or the time before that when I found all those vintage mugs that I was very excited about. I still haven't decided if I should keep them or not. They're just down in the kitchen. But it's always nice to give a browse, even though I rarely find vintage mugs anymore. But you never know when you're gonna, that's the great thing about thrifting. You never know when you're gonna find something amazing. It's just, I guess, luck of the draw, being there at the right time. We were here for opening on this day. We like to get there for opening, especially John, because he likes to go check the display cases. I don't know why I never film over there. I should remember to do that next time, because that's where they tend to keep all, like, the nicer stuff. So I'm gonna make a point to try and remember to do that next time. I usually don't even really look over there the occasional time, but John usually runs over right away to see if he sells a lot of video game stuff. So he usually, he's had a lot of good luck finding video game consoles and games and stuff over there. So, but he likes to get there for opening so that he can run over and grab it before anyone else. So that's usually what he does as soon as he comes in. They had a lot of A&W mugs here on this day, from various eras maybe. I also think that Canada and the US might have a slightly different logo. So I used to work at A&W, and this is the logo that we were using at that time. Although we didn't actually even have the mugs until right before I quit. But I remember they came and installed a dishwasher, just like to wash the mugs. But they were very heavy carrying a bunch of them back. But I just worked in a small A&W that was inside of a mall, so we didn't have them for a long time, which, I mean, I guess they're nice for customers, but it was like one more thing that we had to do with like washing them and stuff, so it was semi-annoying. I saw this Babysitter's Club tin, which intrigued me because I know it has, on the outside, it had all the old style covers, so I know they're quite collectible. So I think I ended up just putting that in my cart for John to look up to see if it was worth reselling or not, but it actually wasn't worth it. And then, yeah, there was a few other tins there that looked older, but nothing that really interested me all that much. So I spotted the last time we were here, this set, it was a cream and sugar set. Well, I noticed now just the sugar bowl is there without a lid, so I don't know if somebody like broke the other piece or I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was a set all together with one price, but it definitely had a lid the last time we were here, which is only a couple weeks ago, so that's unfortunate. I hate when I find things that don't have the lid or something because it's just sad. It was in my last video here where I saw those amazing French onion soup bowls, but they were missing the lids, so I didn't get them. But if they would have had the lids, I would have got them in an instant. They were so adorable. I'm pretty sure the soup mug was here the last time we were here. It gives me very like 1980s vibes. I'm pretty sure it was here last time, or I've seen it recently in another thrift store because it definitely looked familiar. I was really interested in these mugs, even though I don't think they're vintage, but I recently set up this little coffee bar area in my kitchen, and I've been thinking about maybe getting mugs like that, but they're quite pricey, and I don't think they were vintage or anything, and yeah, it just wasn't worth it to me. I feel like I could get something better or different. I noticed this right away, and actually a few trips ago, I lose track, I got this exact same thing, except it was a cake stand, and I got a really good price for it too. I'm not sure if it was here at Value Village or maybe it was at Salvation Army, but I love it. I'm using it in my kitchen like for a display. I've been like working on my kitchen for a while now. I'm just like taking my time with it though, but I will definitely post another like kitchen tour when it's done. All that china, I think it's the same stuff that was here the last time we were here. It's so beautiful. It makes me so sad how many like huge sets of beautiful china just sit in thrift stores because it's just not as popular anymore, I guess. I always like to look in the like thermos kind of coffee mug section, like to-go mug, I guess, because you never know when you're gonna find something vintage. And lately, because I have found some vintage ones that I was listing for sale, I was like, doing some research to see how to price them, and I've come across so many vintage ones that I want so bad. So now I'm even more invested in like trying to find them, but I might end up just having to get them from eBay because the likelihood of finding them might be pretty slim, but you just never know. I was considering whether or not I should look up that LL Bean one, but I don't think I ended up doing that. And then I saw the Kate Spade one, and I thought that would be worth looking up, but I think John looked it up and it wasn't. So, and then I spotted the geese pan. No one's bought that yet. I spotted another like recipe card holder here. I'm assuming it's Betty Crocker. It was a little bit damaged on top, but I already have one of these. I have the like avocado green colored one, and I love it. I'm pretty sure all the recipes are the same in all of them, or close enough. But I do really like them. I kind of like it with the clear lid, but red is definitely not my color. But I do really love my avocado one. And then I spotted another vintage in box piece here. So we've got the rice mold, which in terms of like 50s, 60s, 70s, everything was molded. So, you know, you can't serve rice if it's not molded into a shape with something else in the middle. I don't know. I think it was cute. I did just leave it there. I think I tried looking it up and I didn't really see a whole lot, but also, it's like so much rice, like the ratio of rice to other things is insane to me. But I was looking for the English side, but there was no English side, so I'm not sure where this was from. But I do love seeing things in their original boxes. I spotted this Tupperware creamer, and this just brings me so much nostalgia because I know I mention it all the time, but my mom used to sell Tupperware, if you're new here, in the 80s and 90s, so our entire kitchen was Tupperware things. And then I spotted these, which I actually remember when these were like new in Tupperware, like coming out, these colors and this style. I don't think I've seen these in a thrift store before, these exact ones. But that gave me a lot of nostalgia because I would help my mom set up for parties and things, and I'd help her like unpack when she'd get like big boxes of stuff. So yeah, very, very nostalgic. And then I noticed that the picture was up there. I love the idea of vintage Tupperware, but I would never want to use it ever because plastic scares me anyway, but never mind, like vintage plastic is terrifying. And then I noticed some of the geese canisters back there. I don't remember seeing those last time, but maybe we did. But then I noticed that no one bought the cookie jar yet either. So it's out here. I don't think it was on the end the last time that we saw it, but hopefully this will make someone happy. And then down here on the very bottom shelf, I noticed these I call them like old-fashioned candy jars. And I always look for these. I do see them like new in stores, but they're always so much money. And sometimes I see them in thrift stores, but maybe they're missing the lid or something. But these ones were matching and had the lid, so that was pretty great. And they were a great price too. I really liked that little house cookie jar. They had lots of the cute vintage like patterned pans. I think this one might have been here last time or something similar to it. I think I said it in my last video too, but I wish that some company would like come out with this style but have it be like, you know, new. So then there was a bigger pot, but have it like vintage styled. I feel like so many people who love vintage would buy them. I just think it would be great. And then I spotted this one, which gives me kind of like an 80s, maybe 90s kind of vibe. And there was a pan at the very beginning. I didn't really zoom in on it, but it was the same pattern. So Someone's been unloading all of their old patterned pans. I don't even know what to call them. I was seeing a lot of pie, like the recipe pie plates on this day. I don't think any of them were vintage though, but this one was apple. I think even if they're not vintage, they're really cute. In fact, I really liked this one, and looking at it now, I'm like, oh, I should have got that, but I don't really need it. And here it is, one of them. I think that was the only one that was left of those French onion soup bowls, but it was missing its lid. This piece was here last time, so no one's bought that one yet. So then I saw a lemon meringue pie plate as well, and I was looking at the bottoms to see if they were vintage or not, and I noticed it was $7.99, which I think is a little bit steep for one of those, even if it was vintage, which I don't think it was. Then I noticed this pattern, which I've never seen this before that I can recall. I was looking at the bottom, I thought, oh, that must be glass bake, but I didn't see a marking on it anywhere. I didn't see a marking on the handles either, which is sometimes where it is, but I did actually really like it. It was definitely in very well loved and used condition, which maybe it would have come cleaner, but I just ended up leaving it there. But I'm really curious about the pattern. I wish that I would have, if I wouldn't have been filming a thrift with me, I probably would have done like a Google Lens search to see like what would come up. But when I'm doing a thrift with me, I'm filming on my phone, so I don't end up looking things up that much. And then I noticed a lot of the Corningware French white pieces on this day, which I love those pieces. I'm trying to get like all different sizes. So I've been looking in thrift stores for pieces that are in good condition. I just feel like when you use that, well, I don't really like using my vintage pieces. Like occasionally I'll use them if I'm filming a vintage video, like a vintage recipe, but I just feel uncomfortable with like them containing lead. So I started getting the new French white Corningware pieces, but I actually really like it because I feel like they're just neutral. So for any like holiday, you can just do other things, and then they just kind of blend in with that. So I was seeing a bunch of pieces. It was just funny because they were the same size, but they were priced different, but they had different colored tags. So it was obviously done on a different day by a different person, but I just thought it was funny. But anyway, I was picking up all of the pieces and putting them together to see which ones I might want to get. And I was thinking about what I already had at home, but those round ones were really, I was thinking they'd be really good for vegetables because it's usually just John and I here, so we don't need like a massive dish for that, but we like a lot of different vegetables when we're having a big dinner. So I ended up corralling a whole bunch of them together to decide what I would want to get, and I was gonna try to get the cheapest ones as well. And then John came to find me to show me what he had found. So he had found this textbook that apparently is over $100 online, so that's kind of nice. Books here at Value Village are buy 4 get 1 free. They used to be cheaper than they are now. I think they're like $5.99 for the most part now. But I think he got some things for himself as well. I think he found some video game things, but he also found these 2 VHS that are New Kids on the Block VHS. I think he's gonna put them up on eBay, but I'm pretty sure like I owned one of those when I was a kid, but yeah, so he was just showing me that, but it's just kind of neat. Never know what you're gonna find. And these poor crock pots, these poor vintage crock pots, I feel like they've been here for at least last at least the last 2, but possibly 3 to 4 visits here at the store. This one though is new. This one gives me very much like 90s vibes, maybe even early 2000s, with just the coloring of it, and it definitely looks newer. But I love looking at the like appliance section because you never know when you're gonna find a vintage appliance in there. Just neat. But mostly I've just been seeing vintage crock pots for the most part. So yeah, this one's definitely been here a while. And this one was here last time too, but I didn't notice at the time, but that pattern on it looks just like the friendship pattern from Pyrex, or very similar to it. I noticed it when I was editing the last time, but I don't know if I mentioned it in the video or not, but I was like, oh, I didn't notice that at the time. And then a few of the bread makers are still here from last time too. I think there might have been a couple more though, because I remember thinking, wow, that is a lot of bread makers. I've actually been really considering getting a bread maker, and I talked about this in my last video, and someone was commenting about how easy it was, and I have been really seriously thinking hard. I saw this singer like Halloween costume book. It's probably from the 80s. I thought that was neat, so I wanted to show it. I didn't get it, but and then so yeah, on the end they just have, you know, like Halloween, I guess, season things. They had a bunch of Dean Koontz books. I've been trying to read like I have a whole bunch that I had got, so I thought it would be a good reading thing for this season, but I don't know, I can't like get into it still, so I might just give up and go back to reading a biography on someone. And then I noticed in one of my last videos I showed this book briefly, and somebody mentioned, at least I think it's the same book, so I wanted to zoom in on it. If it was, someone mentioned that they had that book from childhood and it unlocked a memory, so I think that's the same book. I know it was I think its name's Caillou. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So yeah, but they had a bunch of different kids books here that were Halloween themed. So then I went to look in the biography section. I really don't need any more books because I have so many, but I can't resist looking in the cookbooks or the biographies just because you never know. I did find a couple that I did end up getting. And then I did end up looking through the records, and I'm so glad that I did. I loved the look of this Christmas record, but ultimately I decided that I didn't need it. But I did end up finding a Christmas record that I've been looking for, so I am very, very happy that I took the time to browse through them real quick. I usually speed up the footage when I'm flipping through records because, you know, it's just long footage, but yes, so I ended up finding one of these Firestone Christmas records, so I've been trying to collect them all, and now I am down to only needing one more, so it's really cool. So then we were in the checkout. They have self-checkouts now, which is actually preferred by me. I know people have a lot of different opinions about them, so now I'll just show you what I ended up getting. So I did end up getting this lampshade, and it works perfect with what we already have going on down there, so I'm really excited. I did end up getting these 2 old-fashioned candy jars. I just felt like it was way too good of a price. They're in really good condition too. And then I did end up getting 2 of the round ones. I think they'll be really great. And then I got 1 of these tiny ones. I have 1 of these already, but it came like in a set with just 1, and I've often thought, oh, I wish I could get more. They usually come with lids, but that's fine. I did find these 2 movies that I don't own that I thought looked good too, and then I did find some biographies. So I found another Bing Crosby one. I think I found one the last time I was there, and then I found this Dolly Parton one, which I was excited about. And it looks to me like she wrote it herself too, because it just has her name on it. It's not, I'm not seeing like another name, so that's always cool when they've written themselves. And then I found this one, which I'm so excited for. I actually have another one of hers that I haven't read yet, but it's only her life up until 1960. And I'm a big fan of Green Acres, so yeah, it wouldn't have included like her Green Acres days, so that one seems like it's after that. I did find another one of the glass mugs that I've been trying to collect for Christmas, and then of course I found my Firestone record, so I think it's only number 1 that I need now. I'm so excited about that. I just love the way they look. I like listening to them too, but then I did find a Sammy Davis Jr. record that I don't have, which I was excited about. And then I found this amazing, it's like a dual record, Tommy Dorsey, Artie Shaw. It's in pristine condition. Like, I can't get over the condition that it's in. I'm so excited. The Tommy Dorsey band is where Frank Sinatra got his start, so that's like how I'm most familiar with them. But I do like their music, and I do like Artie Shaw as well. So yeah, I was very excited about that. So anyway, that's everything I got today on this trip. I did actually go thrifting at Salvation Army as well on this day, so that will be the next video on Thursday. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.